2025 is setting up to be one of the biggest years for Hedera, and what's crazy about it is we just got out of the first quarter. I'm going to be talking about this in depth. So first, sit back, relax, welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So we have been witnessing some pretty big moves made by Hedera, obviously, this year, as you guys are probably all aware by my previous videos. But we continue to see Hedera being spotlighted as a big player. There was actually a recent article that got put out by the CVC, and this was actually a pretty big one because what it did was it reported on the top 50 crypto-based projects in 2024. Now, part of a crypto valley ecosystem, which was now valued at $593 billion with 17 unicorns leading the way, Hedera was a big featured project. Now, big shout out to the Hashgraph for this. If we actually look into this, this is where we started to see Hedera become a big spotlight. We could actually see the 25 publicly traded blockchain projects. These companies have a cumulative market capitalization of about $585 billion as of the end of 2024. Now, if we actually look, we could see that Hedera is under the blockchain networks next to some other big players out there in the space. But I actually love to see, a lot of these reports because not only does it provide us with, great projects to actually look into, but it also provides us with some great overall analytics happening around the space. Like, for an example, how we're starting to see, the institutional players tapping in. We see a lot of reports around the overall venture capital funding as well, which is showing us that, big investors are actually ready to go all in on crypto. They see it as a big opportunity in terms of like making a lot of money. But outside of that, we also start to see the adoption side of things starting to grow as well. 2024 was definitely a huge year for crypto. We started to see some pretty big moves being made. And then, of course, during the end of 2024, we started to see the entire market open up with the Trump admin going all in on legislation and, the pro-innovation push as well. But outside of this, we also see Hedera being spotlighted over here as well. We could see the 1 year growth over 250, almost 4%, outperforming most big players, even, of course, Ethereum, which, again, it really, when we think about Ethereum's performance over the last year or two, it's definitely been rough. But again, Hedera did make a lot of noise back in 2024, continues to make a lot of noise even now. And we can actually see a breakdown here in terms of some of the stats. But what they do mention is some of the key partnerships, which include, of course, the integration with Drop for real-time payments via FedNow, and even the adoption of Chainlink's data standards for enhanced DeFi capabilities. Notably, collaborations with SpaceX aim to facilitate cryptocurrency transactions in space through a satellite launch in January of this year. This already happened, enhancing secure communications and autonomous spacecraft operations. This positions Hedera at the forefront of asset tokenization and innovative blockchain applications. So you love to see it. Now, outside of that, talking about some big news actually happening around Hedera and spotlights put on Hedera recently, and big shout out to Mark Chadwick X for this. We have breaking: HBAR Asset Tokenization Studio wins award in Global Finance's Top Innovations in Finance 2025. The awards are for the most innovative banks and fintechs, the top global financial innovations, and the world's best financial innovation labs. The Hedera Asset Tokenization Studio, an open source toolkit that simplifies the configuration, issuance, and management of tokenized securities and equities. FYI, Global Finance's audience is 50,000 print circulation and over 500,000 monthly web visitors, and includes senior corporate and financial officers responsible for making investment and strategic decisions at multinational companies and financial institutions. This is an enormous market, and winning this award could lead to mass institutional adoption in the finance industry. Asset tokenization will be a $1 trillion market by 2030. And here we actually have that announcement from Global Finance. Press release: Global Finance names the Innovators 2025 top financial innovations by region. And then over here, we do have the traditional banking is being rapidly transformed by advances such as mobile and real-time payments, the use of blockchain technology, and emerging AI solutions, making financial services more efficient, secure, and accessible. Global Finance's innovators are at the forefront of this transformation and are leading the way to the future of finance. All selections were made by the editorial board of Global Finance with the input of reporters who are experts on the functions being served by these innovators. And also over here, we do have the top innovations in finance 2025 Look at these companies here, guys. BMO, BNY, Galaxy Digital, Hedera. Like, it's crazy because you have big banks sitting right next to Hedera. Like, it's kind of crazy. Now, again, yes, the asset studio, the tokenization studio is the one that actually won this award. That is such a huge piece of the Hedera network. And I think that a lot of people are actually overlooking that studio, especially considering the fact that that just launched back in September, actually, of last year. So it's a fresh launch, and already it's winning an award of this, status. Like, it's kind of crazy to see that. But it does provide you a sense of, overall view into how big Hedera actually is, the names in which Hedera is actually next to, and also how much work is being put into a lot of these products that Hedera continues to push. I'm very excited about this. I think that this is great. And just like Mark did, outline, like when we actually look at the names in which are tied back to these awards, like these are massive banks, massive fintechs, some of the world's best, innovations out there. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to see Hedera here. But again, it provides you that insight into just how big this actually is. And even if we go back to the original announcement from Hedera regarding the asset tokenization studio, they provided us with a few insights on how big tokenization will become. According to a recent EY Parthenon survey, 50% of institutional investors already have an interest in investing into tokenized assets, while 44% of asset managers are preparing to tokenize their own in the coming years, a clear indication that this trend is set to redefine asset management. And also, when taking into account both institutional and high net worth individuals, 77% stated that they already invested in, plan to invest in, or want to learn more about tokenized assets, citing lower transaction costs, enhanced liquidity, improved performance, and increased transparency enabled by blockchain and DLTs as key considerations. Stakeholders at all levels are rapidly realizing the untapped potential of on-chain assets. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely a big one, and it already had some very big players tied to it already. With, like, for an example, Red Swan. You also have the IO Builders, Archax. You also have Aberdeen tied back to this as well. Like, there's so many big players that were already tapped in before. With tokenization on Hedera, this was just one big move back in September to really kind of launch this studio. And now we already see it winning an award. I think that we're probably going to start to see some big players tapping into this as well. I think that we'll probably see more overall announcements of some partnerships with Hedera around tokenization this year as well, because tokenization is only becoming a much bigger topic of discussion, especially around the institutional side. But also, the HBAR Foundation also said that it's been a busy few months, because again, when we look at all of these big updates actually happening around Hedera, like, if you blink, you'll miss it, because there's so many big announcements happening almost every single week. We have Chainlink CCIP, USDC on Binance and Crypto.com, Layer 0 Core HTS connector, Hashpack app, ERC20, Fireblocks HQ, EVM, Copper HQ, EVM, Alchemy Pay, USDC, HCS10 agent payments, ongoing AI agent hackathon. Like, when we think about what's going on here around Hedera, when this market stabilizes, and I said this just recently as well, these projects, these are the types of projects that you want to keep a close eye out on, because when the market stabilizes and bounces back, it's going to be very hard to look at some of these charts saying, wow, I can't believe I missed the opportunity to, lock in and, realize how big these projects were going to be. At that time, it was so obvious. And even when we think about some of the events happening as well, like Drop CC recently did put a spotlight on the Smarter Faster Payments event, which is going to be happening on the 27th through the 30th of this month. This is regarding seamless USD and USDC payments, real-time payment disbursements built on Hedera as well. We have Drop is headed to Smarter Faster Payments 2025 in New Orleans. Drop is headed to the Smarter Faster Payments 2025 in New Orleans. Join us April 27th through the 30th as we showcase those three things. Let's connect and explore the future of digital payments together. And when we actually look into this event, look at the sponsors of this event. This is crazy. Right off the bat, we're met with Truist, which is a huge bank, Visa, Wells Fargo, again, a huge bank, Form 3, gold sponsors. Check this out. Bank of America's on here, JP Morgan's on here, Volante, we already know about Volante with Ripple, NASDAQ, Modern Treasury, Stronghold, The Clearinghouse, LSEG. It's crazy. Silver sponsors as well. Citi, MNT Bank, PNC Bank. I mean, the Federal Reserve, financial services. Like, here are some of the bronze sponsors as well. BNY, Dow Jones, TD Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, US Bank, Played. I mean, it's crazy to look at some of the names here. And also, by the way, check out all of the exhibitors as well. You can see drop right on the left side, right next to the, Dow Jones. It's kind of crazy to see that. But yeah, I mean, there's some very large players that are going to be at this event. I'm very excited about this event as well. I think that there's going to be a lot of great insights coming from Drop. Drop is a project that a lot of people actually don't even look into around Hedera, but they've been making some very big moves as well in the last couple months, and I think that they're going to continue to become a much bigger name around the Hedera ecosystem. And on top of that, we also did see a big update from the Hashgraph Online DAO, which was breaking news. We're thrilled to announce the launch of the Centers Agent Kit at Hashgraph Online. This was those AI agents. It was the integration of this with the OpenConv AI. So our new agent kit integrates with the advantages of OpenConv AI into a user-friendly TypeScript SDK. With minimal coding, you can now have your AI agent up and running, engaging through natural language. Like I said, the AI agent hype is starting to build around Hedera. So again, once the market stabilizes, once the AI agent hype returns to the market, and that market really kind of starts to engage more and more around like the AI agent side, I think that we're going to see Hedera really kind of front and center around that space as well, because they've been absolutely killing the AI push. I don't even think I need to mention NVIDIA and Intel. I just recently made a video on that. But also Hashpack Wallet is advancing their wallet as well in a big way. We have Hashpack V13.2.0 is live. ERC20 support has arrived on Hedera. Your very own Hashpack wallet just leveled up, now handling ERC20 smart contract tokens, view, send, associate, and also dissociate ERC20s. EVM address, visible and ready. Fixed NFT collection view, acting strange. Fixed on swap page, icons not updating when quick switching, buy and sell. Added Diffuse Labs to dapps browser, Android and iOS ready. Chrome extension, restart your browser. Reminder, ERC20 does not equal cross-chain. Made with love by Hashpack. So love to see it. Huge move. And also talking about this, what's crazy about ERC20 support being added to Hashpack? We also just got a big update from Hedera on the 15th. Now, not to get confused here, this isn't zero-cost Ethereum transactions themselves. We have HIP 1084 introduces an updated transaction fee model that will eliminate charges for successful Ethereum transactions submitted by relay operators on Hedera, reducing operational costs, enabling simplified business models, and driving EVM alignment. Now, they do break down exactly what are these Ethereum transactions. Like, for an example, we have it down here in terms of like the zero fee transactions, what they actually are. So they include successful contract executions, contract calls that revert, and then successful HBAR transfers. So again, this is a huge update. I'm actually very excited about this. At some point in time, I actually do think that we will start to see networks like Hedera be the savior for Ethereum, because again, Ethereum is so inefficient to transact on. I love to see this. I think that this is great. At some point in time, like I said, I do think that Hedera is going to be a big player around the success of Ethereum, which I think will only benefit Hedera in a much bigger way. I think that these EVM bridges and EVM connections are such a huge focus. Like the sidechain on XRP, for an example, the EVM sidechain is a big deal right now. Everyone is focused on it. I think that's going to be a big success. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time until we start to see this impact the space in a much positive way. I think that these networks are doing an incredible job at really kind of showing us that the multi-chain future is becoming a reality more and more every single day that goes by. I love to see these big updates. I think that, the support added to wallets like Hashpack, for an example, are huge as well. Hashpack has been absolutely killing it. They've been growing significantly, but the entire ecosystem around Hedera is just on fire. And I really don't see how people don't realize that Hedera is going to be, a big name going forward. It's going to continue to shine among the rest. And not only that, I think that 2025 is going to be a huge year for Hedera. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.